So what if the very information you were getting about how to flip houses and make money in real estate was actually the thing holding you back? Find out on today's video why most people who get into flipping houses fail and the missing ingredient that you need to be successful. Coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Data Cruncher software, which finds cheap houses in your area. Get it now at mydatacruncher.com.
If you're new here to this channel, I'm Jerry Norton with flippingmastery.com, and this channel is all about ways to help you make money flipping real estate so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss new videos. So I'm not really happy with so much of the information that's being taught about flipping houses on YouTube and talked about on Facebook groups and out there in the marketplace. I feel like so much of this misinformation and misguided information is making it so much harder for beginners to have success. The purpose of this video is to set you up to be successful flipping houses in your market. On this video, I want to share with you what I believe is the missing ingredient that isn't talked about enough. And honestly, I think you should separate yourself to some degree from a lot of the current advice that is swirling around the wholesaling and house flipping community. Keep watching and you'll see what I mean. Unfortunately, this missing ingredient isn't talked about because it's scary, and one reason why publishers and educators that create content like I do don't talk about it is because it's not really what you, the audience, wants to hear. Trust me, I know videos I've posted in the past about this topic get very little interest and engagement, but I don't care. I feel an obligation to share this with you. So maybe now's the time to bail on this video because I'm going to talk about what you need to do as a responsible adult to move forward and grow your business and succeed flipping houses. So this video may be a little painful, but make no mistake, I believe what I'm going to share is critical that you hear and that you're self-aware of what's happening and how you're thinking. You see, I've been a full-time flipper for 15 years, and for the past 10 years now, I've been coaching and training and being an educator in the house flipping industry. And from my first-hand experience, I've concluded that there are two types of people that come into the business. A small percentage, I would guess about 10%, really accept responsibility for their own results, and then the other 90% believe their success is a direct result of some type of external factor or circumstance. These external things could be the market or a partner, an agent, a contractor, maybe a certain script or a certain type of lead. You know, a really big external factor could be a coach or a training program or a software that promises amazing results with little to no effort on your part. Like my house flipping deal management software, FlipSter. Now, this software is meant to keep you organized and save you time and help streamline the steps, and even has leads and funding and rehabbing tools and all of these external things. And yes, it is hands down the best software for flipping houses, but it's just a tool. It's not going to do the work for you. And so sadly, what ends up happening with the majority is they put all of their hopes and dreams into these external things that can never really give them the results they're after. It's crazy to think that success flipping houses, and probably really anything in life, is 10% strategy or skill or tools, external things, and the other 90% of success is the real estate between your ears. Yet human nature is to put most of our effort on the 10% external factors and not the 90% internal factors. But the real reality is nobody and nothing is responsible for your success. A mentor and a coach and proper training can help, and software and tools and these external things can help without a doubt. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to make it happen. The problem is the majority of people are unaware of how their thinking really impacts their results and their ability to take massive action. And you don't want to fall into this camp because the one thing you have to do is take massive action. And this is hard in the beginning because you're still learning and you don't have a lot of leads and you don't have a big marketing budget and you don't have a cash buyer list or funding, and it's really challenging. But you can do it. It means you've got to be really self-aware and you've got to accept responsibility. And most importantly, you've got to really focus and take consistent massive action in order to see the success you desire. And when you do, you'll become the 10% who breaks through and has success. And I hate to say it, but most people start out already destined to fail because of negative self-talk and self-sabotage that they bring to their real estate investing. And most of the time, it's subconscious from their upbringing or their past, so they're completely unaware that the reason they aren't having success isn't because of some external thing like a software, but rather from their own destructive thoughts and actions. This negative self-talk leads to three things: blaming, complaining, and justifying. If you find yourself doing any of these three behaviors, then you're being a victim and you're sabotaging your own success. This leads to allowing roadblocks and setbacks to become excuses. I mean, let's face it, when we get started, we're not prepared emotionally for the amount of time, energy, and effort it takes to get results. We have no idea the amount of sacrifice and dedication it takes to build a successful house flipping business. And this is where ultimately flippers seal their fate. When they come to the crossroads, what they focus on really determines if they'll continue on to success or if they'll give up and fail. And that's because what you focus on expands and becomes bigger and bigger. And if you focus on all of the difficulties with flipping houses and focus on how hard it is, it's really impossible to do your best work and show up with your A game and continue to generate leads and talk to sellers and make offers and believe that you can do it. And sooner or later, you give up on your dream. So when you get to that place, when you're at that crossroads, draw a line in the sand, step over it, and decide to take ownership and do everything you can to distance yourself from those negative thoughts and feelings because they will only pull you down. So how do you do that? What do you do when you're at that point and everything feels so challenging? When you don't really believe that you can be successful, but you want to, what do? I have 5 tips to help you. Tip number 1 is what I've been talking about: accept responsibility. If you want to achieve financial freedom flipping houses, it's not going to be a coach or a program or software that's going to do it. It's going to be you. Write this down and repeat it over and over every day. If it's going to be, it's up to me. Remember, your past is not your present or your future. You get to write a new story. I recently posted a video about my first year as a real estate investor 15 years ago, and in that video I talk about a point early on where I made an unwavering commitment that I was going to do anything to pay the price and make any sacrifice to be a successful wholesaler, and how that commitment allowed me to push through the barriers. Now, if you missed that video, I'll put a link in the description box below and you can watch that later. What I didn't share on that video about my first year, that honestly is the real reason for my success, was I went to the local library where I lived every day and I checked out motivational audio CDs about success and sales and business and personal development. And every day while I was driving for dollars in Detroit, I was listening to legends like Zig Ziglar and Tom Hopkins and Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins. This had a profound impact on my way of thinking, which altered my actions, which formed my habits. As a result, I experienced tremendous growth. And that's why I stepped up to the plate and took accountability for my own success. So accept responsibility, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to surround yourself with winners and other accountable people. Birds of a feather flock together. If you run with a pack of winners, it will rub off on you. And the same is true if you associate with negative people. Remember what Jim Rohn said: you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. Tip number 3 is to be objective and see things how they really are rather than how you want them to be. Getting good deals is getting good deals. You can't force a seller to give you a good deal, but you can change the way you think about what it means when a seller rejects your offers. More on that in a minute, so keep watching. Tip number 4 is to have a strong mindset to carry you through the challenging times. Flipping houses is hard, but so is anything that's worthwhile in life. If you don't develop a strong mindset, you're doomed to fail. You'll always struggle, you'll always play small, and you'll always feel cheated inside. Now listen, I'm a super practical guy, and on my videos I like to give real actionable steps. So combined with 100% accountability and the right mindset and everything I've talked about so far, tip number 5 is the most important measurable action step you can do to have success and earn a 6- and 7-figure income flipping houses. You ready? Here it is. Tip number 5 is to make offers every single day. You can't get deals unless you make offers. You have no control over whether or not the seller will say yes, but you do have control over how often you give sellers an opportunity to say yes. Let me repeat that. You have no control over whether or not a seller will say yes to your offer. What you do have control is how often you put offers in front of those sellers and give them the opportunity to say yes. That's important. The law of averages says that the more offers you make, the more deals you'll do. It really comes down to a numbers game. Your most important key performance indicator, or KPI, is how many offers are you making. Here's your KPI to know if you're on track. Make 5 offers a day, 5 days a week. That's 25 per week, 100 offers a month. And I promise you, if you're making 100 offers a month, you're going to be getting deals every month. And if you keep stepping up to the plate, your offer to deal ratio will improve. You'll discover which leads are working best. Your closing skills will improve. Your knowledge of the market will get better. Everything will grow if you put yourself out there and you make offers every day. And this is something I talk about all the time. It's what I teach my elite mentoring students that I work with. And in fact, this is where I learn if one of my coaching students is in the 10% or the 90%, because in my advanced mentoring program called Fast Track, I give the assignment during week 3 to call the seller leads that we generated and analyzed in weeks 1 and 2 and make the offers. This is where they have to talk to a seller or an agent and give them their offer. It's where the first real action step happens. It's also where the first rejection happens, and it's where fear sets in. And on average, 1 out of 10 will do the assignment and make a real offer to a real seller during week 3. Now the other 9 give excuses as to why they didn't or couldn't do it. By the way, if you feel like you're in that 10%, or at least are self-aware that it's an area that you need to improve and you're willing to put in the work to become the 10%, my Fast Track program might be a good fit for you. It is by application and interview only to be accepted, and now you know what I'm looking for, the right mindset. If you'd like to learn more and be considered, here's what you have to do. 1, click on the link in the description to attend a free online training to learn about how my Fast Track program works. 2, once you click on that link, register for a time to attend that training. 3, show up, attend the training. It's only about 30 minutes or so. 4, once the training is over, if you're still interested, you can apply to the program. The details will be given on that training. And 5, my team will call you and go through an interview process to be accepted. Now, hey, if you learned something on this video, show some love, hit that like button right now and leave a comment. Let me know your biggest takeaway from this video. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm dedicated to helping you make more money in less time flipping houses so you can live your dream life. And remember, it's not about the money, it's about having the time and freedom to have, be, do, and give everything you want in life. That's what it's all about, and I'll see you on the next video.